Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're gonna open up your kitchen cabinet, not for a snack, but to uncover some pretty mind-blowing science. We're talking about the spices you probably use all the time and how they might just be a hidden pharmacy right under your nose.
All right, let's just jump right into the deep end with a massive question. Can a simple, everyday spice, something you definitely have at home right now, actually make cancer cells just go away? I know, it sounds like something out of a movie, but you might be surprised by what the research is starting to show. So check this out. This is Dr. Demura. For 15 years, every single morning he ate curry. And the result? He dropped 15 kilograms, that's over 30 pounds, and kept it off. No crazy diet, no yo-yo effect, just one simple habit that actually kicked off a huge health craze all across Japan.
So what was the secret sauce in his daily curry? Well, it really comes down to one key ingredient, the one that gives curry that incredible vibrant golden color. We're talking about that magic yellow powder, turmeric.
And listen, turmeric is not some new health fad you just saw online. This spice has an incredible 5,000-year history. For literally millennia in India, it's been a total staple, used for both cooking and as a traditional medicine. There's a good reason India is often called the heaven of spices. For thousands of years, they've been mastering the use of spices not just to make food taste amazing, but also to help preserve it in the heat and, most importantly, for health. There's this great saying that Indian food starts with spices and ends with soul. So what is the secret weapon hiding inside turmeric? Well, it all boils down to one powerhouse compound called curcumin. This is the star of our show today. It's a type of phytochemical, and it's what gives turmeric that bright yellow color and, you guessed it, most of its amazing health benefits. So what are phytochemicals? Well, you can think of them as a plant's personal defense system. They're these natural compounds that plants create to protect themselves from stuff like pests and harsh UV rays. And the cool part is, when we eat these plants, we get to borrow that protective power for ourselves. It's like a natural defense boost. Okay, so we know what curcumin is, but how do we actually unlock its power? Let's get into the hard science that's starting to back up all these ancient claims. This is absolutely fascinating. A study in a major neurology journal found that elderly folks in India who eat curry on the regular have a way lower rate of Alzheimer's disease compared to people in the US. I mean, look at that difference. It's not just a small gap, it's a huge one. Okay, so that's incredible for brain health. But let's go back to that huge question we started with. How on earth could a spice work against something as relentless and aggressive as cancer? To get this, you have to meet the villain of the story. It's a protein called the MMP enzyme. The easiest way to think about it is like a master key that cancer cells create for themselves. It's a key that can unlock tissue barriers, letting the cancer spread all over the body. So here's the playbook. First, a tumor grows. Then it starts pumping out these MMP enzymes. They get to work dissolving the protective wall that's meant to keep cells in one place. And once that wall is broken down, the cancer cells can escape into the bloodstream and set up shop in new organs. That whole terrifying process is called metastasis. And this, right here, is where curcumin makes its move. The research suggests that curcumin can actually stop that MMP enzyme from working. So on the left, you see the cancer cell using its key to break out. But on the right, with curcumin in the picture, that enzyme is blocked. The key doesn't fit the lock anymore. The cancer cell is essentially trapped. It can't spread. The science is one thing, but let's bring this back to a real person's life. This is Bat Naksam. He's a colon cancer survivor, and after going through surgery and chemo, he started taking turmeric. He said he really felt like it helped him, especially with digestion and the awful nausea that comes with treatment. And just look at his journey. Diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer back in 2005. He went through all the tough treatments, and at the same time, he made turmeric a part of his daily routine. Just 4 years later, he was declared cancer-free with no sign of it coming back. It's an incredible story. But here's a really important piece of the puzzle. Turmeric doesn't like to fight alone. To be at its best, it needs a couple of powerful sidekicks from that very same spice rack. We're talking about ginger and pepper. So you've got ginger, which brings a compound called gingerol to the table. It's fantastic for circulation and helping your body detox. But the real game changer here is black pepper. Pepper has a compound called piperine, and it's like the key that fully unlocks curcumin's power. In fact, studies show piperine can boost your body's absorption of curcumin by up to, get this, 2,000%. And on top of that, some lab studies even suggest piperine itself might help kill colon cancer cells. What a team. Okay, so we've got ancient history, modern science, and powerful personal stories. But what happens when just regular people like us, start adding these spices to their diet? Well, let's take a look at a 2-week spice challenge. So they took 4 people who were worried about their liver health and some extra weight. For just 2 weeks, they took on the challenge. And the results? They were unbelievably consistent. First off, GGT, that's a marker for liver damage, it dropped for every single person. Then their visceral fat, that's the really dangerous stuff around your organs, it went down by a lot, between 12 and 15%. What's interesting is the fat right under the skin didn't really change. But the most jaw-dropping results came from one participant, Mr. Kim, who said he drank alcohol pretty frequently, like 4 to 5 times a week. In just 2 weeks, his GGT level, that liver damage marker, absolutely plummeted. I mean, that is a huge change in such a short amount of time. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? It really seems to point to the idea that we might be overlooking one of the easiest health tools we have. The real power might not just be in a pill bottle from the pharmacy, it could be right there, waiting in your kitchen. But hang on, before you go and dump a whole bottle of turmeric into your dinner, there are a few really important things to remember. This stuff isn't a magic bullet. You have to stick to the recommended amounts because more is definitely not better. Pregnant women should be careful, and as always, if you have any health conditions or you're on medication, please talk to your doctor first. When you step back and look at all of this, it's pretty amazing. We've seen how these simple, common spices hold compounds that could potentially help protect our brains, support our livers, and maybe even help our bodies fight disease on a cellular level. The power to make a real difference in our health could literally be sitting in our spice rack right now. And that really leaves us with one final, pretty powerful question to think about. If there's this much potential hiding in turmeric, ginger, and pepper, what other ancient remedies are out there just waiting for modern science to catch up and finally show us their secrets?